Bismillah wa salatu wa salamu ala rasulillah wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajma'in. Assalamu alaikum, Husna.
Wa alaikum assalam.
In this brief session, I want to teach you about singular, pair, and plural, but just a little bit more of an in-depth conversation. You already know about singular, you already know about pair. Pairs are always ani, aini, aini.
Yes.
The complication in Arabic is when it comes to the plurals.
Plurals.
Okay, so we're going to make a list of what are the different kinds of plurals. I want you to write these down, and I want you to never forget them. Okay, this is going to be a little more than what we did before. You could write it on the blank side. Okay, so these are the different kinds of plurals. That's the heading of this thing. So there's the masculine plural. That's easy.
Okay.
What are the masculine plurals? What are the endings? Una and ina. That's what I mean by masculine plural. You with me so far? Okay, and that's always for humans. The masculine plural is always for humans. The second one. Take a guess.
Feminine?
Yep. Feminine plural. And we'll also call this, there's a feminine plural is atun and atin, by the way, like muslimatun and muslimatin. That's also for humans. Plus non-humans. And put that in two lines. Like put the human in one line and non-human in another line, because we're going to go back and add some comments to each of those, because there's a difference. So when you see atun or atin, it could be about people or it could be about non-humans. Okay, so if I say muslimatun, is that human or non-human?
Human?
Right. If I say samawatun,
Non-human.
because skies are not a person, right? So that's non-human. You understand that so far? Okay. Third one is the non-human broken plural.
Non-human broken plural.
I want you to, I'll say the definition. I want it to stick in your head. If you can't remember it, write it down. But listen first. Listen first. How do you know if a word is non-human broken plural? You cannot unless you know the meaning. You know the exercise we tried to do last time? It said faces, right? And faces, I gave you the meaning. It's right there. So you know by meaning that it's plural, right?
Yeah.
If a word is plural, and you know because, well, how do you know it's plural? Because of its meaning. But it doesn't fit una, ina, and it doesn't fit atun, atin.
Okay.
Then it has to be broken.
Alright.
Okay? So that's the way you tell if something is a broken plural. If it's, you know it's plural because of its meaning, but the way it looks, it doesn't look like it has an una, ina, or atun, atin. Like yesterday, I remember we did wujuhun, or last session we did wujuhun, right? And in wujuhun, it says faces. So you know it's plural because of what? The meaning.
The meaning.
The meaning. Okay? But if you look at wujuhun, there's no una, ina, and there's no atun, atin, which means it has to be a broken plural. Now then the next question, this is how you know it's a broken plural, but how do you know it's a non-human?
By the meaning?
By the meaning. That's common sense.
Yeah.
And if you do get, so that's the third kind. And then the fourth kind is a human broken plural. How do you tell if it's a broken plural? Same exact way. What was that way? Can you regurgitate that to me? So I know you have it. How do you tell if a word is a broken plural?
Meaning.
Right. Well, now you have the meaning, but how do you know if it's broken?
Ending?
Be a little more elaborate.
No ending combination.
Good. No ending combination and it's still plural. It's a broken plural.
Okay.
An example of non-human would be masajid. An example of human broken plural would be ulama, anbiya,
nisa.
rusul.
Nisa.
Nisa would be a good example. Okay. Then there's number 5. Number 5 is called ism jama'. Ism jama' is words that are plural because the Arab said so. You know, we had a small category of words that are feminine because the Arab said so. There's also another category of words that are plural because the Arab said so.
Okay.
Okay? Like qawm means nation is plural because the Arab said so. Not because of the meaning. The meaning is a nation. And when you hear a nation, what does that sound like? Singular or plural?
Singular.
It sounds singular. But to the Arabs, the word qawm is in grammar, not in meaning, but in grammar, it's considered plural. Okay? So these are the 5 kinds of plurals. You with me so far? Now listen carefully. We don't just have to know what the 5 kinds of plurals are. we also have to know how they are treated.
Yeah.
Okay, so here's the 5 plurals, and here's how they are treated.
Treated.
So in order to understand that better, I'm going to erase all of this. Can you recall the 5 for me?
Okay. Masculine,
Yes.
feminine,
Uh-huh.
human broken plurals,
Mhm.
non-human broken plurals, and
Human broken plurals, non-human broken plurals, and finally,
wait, I know it.
even if you don't know the Arab term,
Oh wait, ism
ism jama.
jama. Okay. Which means it's plural because the Arab said so.
Yes. Well, let's start with these 4. Muslimuna is an example of a masculine plural.
Mm-hmm.
Muslimatun is an example of a feminine plural. Kutubun is an example of a
Non-human broken plural.
non-human broken plural. Nisa'un is an example of a
Human
broken
broken plural.
plural. We should probably have another example in here, but we'll next to muslimatun I'll put let's say ayatun. Okay?
Okay.
Ayatun is a non-human feminine plural. So muslimatun is a human, but ayatun is a non-human. You with me? Now we're going to discuss how they're treated.
Okay.
And in order to best understand how they're treated, you really have to kind of put a little bit of an X next to the 2 non-human ones.
Okay.
First of all, what are the 2 non-human ones?
Human. Oh wait, non-human.
Non-human broken plurals.
Oh, here
And what else? Is there anything else that's non-human on the screen?
Ayatun.
Ayatun, which means feminine plurals are sometimes non-human also.
Okay.
Okay? So there are 2 categories that are non-human. What are the 2 categories that are non-human? Either some broken plurals or
Broken
some
plurals,
feminine
feminine
plurals.
plurals.
You with me so far?
Yes.
Those are the 2 that the Arabs will treat as singular feminine.
All right. Okay.
They're going to treat kutubun as singular feminine, and they will treat ayatun as singular feminine. Now, you remember the pronouns?
Mhm.
Okay? I'm going to say hiya kutubun.
Okay.
Why am I saying hiya? The pronoun hiya is singular feminine.
Yeah, but it's treated as.
Because this is treated singular feminine,
Yeah.
the sentence has to use hiya kutubun. They are books. The meaning is not she is books. The meaning is actually they are books. But they're going to use hiya. They are ayat. Take a guess.
Hiya ayat.
Hiya ayatun. But they are Muslim women. Can I say hiya muslimatun?
Hunna.
Very good. Hunna muslimatun. What about muslimuna? Should I say hiya muslimuna?
Hum.
Hum muslimuna. What about nisa'un?
Hiya nisa'un.
You have 2 options. Do you remember the rule about human broken plurals? You read it recently. Non-human plurals must be treated singular feminine.
Singular feminine.
Human broken plurals may be treated singular feminine.
Okay.
You remember the must be and the maybe?
Yeah.
Nisa is a human broken plural. It's the only complication left.
Okay.
Because it's a human broken plural, you have 2 options.
Mhm.
You can actually go crazy and treat it singular feminine,
Uh-huh.
or you can treat it what it really is.
So, hunna nisa'un?
Hunna nisa'un is correct because when you say hunna nisa'un, you treated it what it actually is.
Yeah.
What else is an option?
Hiya nisa'un?
Because it's a broken plural.
It's a broken plural.
Because a human broken plural, you always get 2 answers.
Yeah.
So the only one on the screen that gives you 2 answers is which one?
Nisa.
Nisa. Human broken plurals give you 2 answers. You with me so far?
Yes.
Okay. Now let's go back to the exercise. Let's see if I can pull it up here. Here we are. Al-Jibal. What category is it? It says mountains,
Yeah.
which means it's plural.
Yeah.
But of the 5,
It's a broken plural?
which one? There's 2 kinds of broken plurals in your hand.
Non-human broken
Which means it
plural.
should be treated.
Singular feminine?
That's why it says singular feminine.
Okay.
Would you? Which category of plurals does it belong to?
Masculine?
Look at the meaning.
Wait. spaces. Oh, broken plural?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so it's a non-human broken plural.
Right. So the treatment
So
should be.
Singular feminine.
So you would say hiya wujuhun.
Mm-hmm.
You would say hiya jibalun.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. What about mukadhibuna? How would you say mukadhibuna? Would you say hiya mukadhibuna?
Sorry. No. You would say
Mukadhibuna is.
Mukadhibina.
No, I'm changing it. Mukadhibuna.
Mukadhibuna is
Should you say huwa mukadhibuna, hiya mukadhibuna?
hum.
Good.
Mukadhibuna?
Hum mukadhibuna. Good. Nisa.
Women.
Sure. What kind of plural is it?
It is a human broken plural.
Mm-hmm. What happens when you come across a human broken plural?
There's two choices. You could
Sure.
treat it like it's a singular feminine,
Or,
or you could treat it like it really is, which is Husna.
okay, so what are the two options?
Hiya nisa, and Huna
Hiya
nisa.
hiya nisa'un and hunna nisa'un. Make everything rougher. For making a sentence, we change the status. Now the other thing here with nisa is the answer here would look like this. I know you practically know how to do it, but the answer would be either singular feminine
Yeah.
or plural feminine.
Uh-huh.
Singular feminine is because it's a broken plural.
And plural.
Plural feminine is because reality. That's what it really is. You with me? Okay. Al-bihar. We'll do one more. Al-bihar.
Non-human broken plural.
Good.
Singular feminine.
Singular feminine. You got the idea. Very good. Barakallahu li wa lakum. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Next session will be super short because we'll just do a handful more and you got the concept.
Okay.
Okay.